Sketchbook's supposed to be the most relaxed place for an artist, with no expectations, no deadlines, and no one to actually judge our work. And yet, starting a blank sketchbook can feel strangely intimidating. And the worst part is, it sometimes feels even more intimidating than a drawing we are actually going to show to other people. Over the years, I start noticing that the sketchbook itself isn't the real problem. It's a few small expectations that we bring to it without even realizing. So today I want to share a few things that help me remove the pressure and enjoy drawing in sketchbooks way more than before. Skip the first page. One of the biggest sources of pressure is surprisingly a very simple one. It's the first page. For some reason, the first page feels like it needs to be perfect. It needs to represent our whole sketchbook, and it needs to show our full potential and our full capacity of creativity and skills. It of course makes us very hesitant to start in the first place because we feel that pressure so much. And that expectation alone can make it really difficult to start. So something that helped me a lot was just to skip the first page and to start drawing randomly on different pages in the sketchbook. It removes the pressure from that perfect first drawing that I have to create, and by the time when I came back to that first page, my sketchbook was already almost full, so I didn't feel that pressure anymore and the first page didn't feel so special. Treat the sketchbook like a laboratory. Another mindset shift that helped me a lot was thinking about my sketchbook as a laboratory. It's not meant to be a portfolio, it's not meant to be perfect, it's not meant to be beautiful from beginning to the end. It's actually a place where I can experiment, I can try different things. It's simply a place where ideas are allowed to exist. Bad drawings belong here, unfinished ones belong here, weird experiments belong here. If you have the perfect pages from start to finish, you're probably not experimenting enough. Expensive sketchbooks create pressure. If the sketchbook is very beautiful, expensive, or in high quality, it almost feels wrong that you are going to put bad drawings in it, and that increases the pressure enormously. You start feeling that every page needs to be perfect in order to deserve the paper you are drawing on, and that mindset makes experiments way more unwilling just because you don't want to mess up. So sometimes the cheaper paper and the cheaper sketchbook is going to go a long way rather than using an expensive sketchbook where you're too afraid to draw and experiment in. I've heard a lot of people who are suggesting to use high quality paper and sketchbook just because, you deserve it, and your drawings, no matter how good or bad they are, they deserve to be drawn on good paper. But at the same time, if you feel that pressure is way more when you have more expensive sketchbook in front of you, I would suggest keep that sketchbook for drawings that you are more confident about, or techniques or mediums that you are confident about, and stick to cheaper sketchbooks in order to go wild and to experiment without hesitation. Draw what's around you. Sometimes the intimidation doesn't come from the sketchbook itself. Sometimes it just comes from not knowing what to draw. So when I'm in that situation, I like to simplify things a lot. So I start drawing what's in front of me. For example, I can draw a cup of tea or coffee. I can draw my keyboard or my mouse, something that's on my desk, or maybe the things that I see through my window. Everything is an object around us, and we just need to consider it as one. Sometimes even moments during meetings, if you are working, for example, from home or from some safe place where you can just scribble stuff during a meeting. These drawings doesn't need to be impressive, they're just keeping that sketchbook alive. And of course, you never know what you can end up with. Draw small. Depending on the size of your sketchbook, you can buy, for example, A5 size, A4, or even small travel-like sketchbooks. But in any way, sometimes drawing that big may feel intimidating. In those situations, I really like to draw extremely small. Small drawings can remove a lot of pressure. They don't need way much detail, they don't feel that intimidating, and at the same time you can try different compositions, you can try different objects, and you can get an idea of a drawing that you can create in a bigger scale later. It doesn't require to add a lot of details, so it's really a great way just to think about creating things and how to position them on the page, and at the same time the page itself doesn't feel that intimidating. It's a great way for brainstorming ideas or for just small scribbles here and there, which you can later on create into a bigger scale. One thing that took me a while to realize was that the sketchbook doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to have a theme, it doesn't need to be consistent, it's meant to be chaotic, it's meant to have experiments in it. It just consists of everything that is happening through our art life. And we can even just have blank pages here and there, and that's completely okay. For example, I have a very bad time leaving blank pages in sketchbooks just because I feel like I'm wasting paper, and it's a place where I can create something rather than just put that sketchbook away. So I'm really trying to give myself permission to leave some blank pages when I feel like I just don't want to draw here at all. It really requires some time to understand your own self when it comes to filling sketchbooks and to be mindful about how you feel when you're drawing one thing or another, depending on the sketchbook you're using. And if you're like me and you have dozens of sketchbooks for different occasions, then you know the feeling when you feel like I am going to draw on that sketchbook today and tomorrow I'm going to draw in that sketchbook, and that's completely okay. It depends on the type of the sketchbook, it depends on the paper, it depends on the medium that you're going to use, and it depends on the way that you feel in terms of confidence about the drawing that you're going to try today. So give yourself permission to try to be messy and to be chaotic, just because that's the idea of the sketchbooks in the first place. You may draw in some scrap pieces of paper, and that's totally okay. I have a whole folder with scrap paper drawings, so no matter what you decide, make it easier for yourself to start in the first place. Put the sketchbook on your desk, or maybe in your living room, somewhere where you can easily reach it and start drawing in any time of day. It might be during your lunch break, it might be during preparing a dinner and you're waiting for something to cook. The important part here is just to draw and to experiment. I think the biggest shift comes when you stop seeing the sketchbooks as something that needs to be perfect. They are never meant to be beautiful books. And no matter what we see online, the sketchbooks needs to be a place with complete creative freedom. And once you allow them to be messy, they start feeling way less intimidating. They are meant to be messy places where ideas are allowed to exist before they become good. And I'm curious, what makes sketchbooks intimidating for you? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If that video resonated with you, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more art-related videos in the future. Thank you very much for spending the time with me, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye!